What if I told you that the most important SUV Nissan has built in over a decade isn't a sports car, isn't a flagship luxury vehicle, and it doesn't carry a six-figure price tag? It's a compact hybrid SUV that could completely redefine how America sees this brand. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why the 2027 Nissan Rogue Hybrid isn't just another crossover. It's Nissan's last best shot at reclaiming its throne in one of the most competitive segments in the entire automotive industry. Welcome back to Auto Elite World, the channel where we break down the vehicles that actually matter, with the analysis that actually goes deeper. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because we don't do surface level coverage. We go all in every single time. Now let's talk about why this vehicle is generating serious buzz across the automotive world. Nissan has had a complicated few years. The brand that once dominated compact SUV sales in America has been slowly losing ground to a new generation of sharper, smarter, more refined competitors. Buyers started looking elsewhere. The loyalty started cracking. And for a while, it felt like Nissan was playing catch-up instead of leading the charge. But then something shifted. Word started spreading that Nissan had been quietly developing a hybrid powertrain strategy for the Rogue, their absolute best-selling vehicle in the United States, and that the 2027 model year would represent a genuine no-compromises leap forward. Not a refresh, not a badge swap, a full reimagining of what this SUV can be. And if the early indications are even half accurate, the competition should be paying very close attention right now. This isn't just about fuel economy numbers. This is about Nissan staking its entire brand reputation on one vehicle. And that kind of pressure, it either breaks a company or it produces something extraordinary. So let's start with what you see the moment this SUV rolls into view. The exterior design. Nissan is expected to push the 2027 Rogue Hybrid into far more aggressive visual territory than its predecessors. The current Rogue already moved in a bolder direction, but the 2027 model is anticipated to take that identity and sharpen it considerably. Reports suggest a completely reworked front fascia featuring a wider, more sculpted interpretation of Nissan's signature V-Motion grille, flanked by ultra-slim LED headlights that stretch aggressively into the hood line. The profile is expected to be cleaner and more aerodynamically purposeful, which makes perfect sense for a hybrid that needs to maximize efficiency without sacrificing presence. Flush door handles, a more pronounced character line running the full length of the body, and a roofline that maintains practicality while adding a subtle coupe-like slope toward the rear are all reportedly part of the design conversation. At the back, the 2027 Rogue Hybrid could feature a full-width LED light bar, a design signature that's becoming increasingly popular in this segment. Connecting both tail lamps and giving the vehicle a premium, wide-stance visual presence even when it's parked. Available two-tone color combinations are also expected, allowing buyers to personalize the look in a way that feels upscale without requiring an upscale budget. The overall aesthetic direction appears to be one thing above everything else: intentional. Nissan isn't designing for the average. They're designing for the buyer who wants to feel proud pulling into a parking lot. And when you open that door and step inside, the story gets even more interesting. The interior of the 2027 Rogue Hybrid is where Nissan is expected to make its most dramatic statement. If current trends and insider expectations hold true, this cabin could genuinely challenge vehicles sitting in a significantly higher price bracket. The centerpiece is anticipated to be a large, curved display setup, potentially a dual-screen arrangement similar to what we're seeing sweep across premium SUVs right now, integrating the driver's digital instrument cluster and the main infotainment display into one seamless, visually flowing unit. It's the kind of cockpit presentation that immediately communicates to whoever sits behind the wheel. that this is not your typical mass-market SUV interior. Material quality is expected to see a meaningful upgrade. Soft-touch surfaces, genuine contrast stitching, and premium upholstery options are all reportedly on the table for higher trim levels. The zero-gravity seat design, something Nissan has refined and earned genuine praise for over multiple generations, is expected to return in an even more advanced form, potentially offering additional lumbar and bolstering adjustability that long-distance drivers will absolutely appreciate. Rear passenger space has always been a strength for the Rogue, and the 2027 model is anticipated to maintain and possibly expand on that advantage. Whether you're driving solo or hauling the whole family across 3 states, the expectation is that comfort remains non-negotiable in every single seat. Ambient lighting, a panoramic moonroof, and thoughtfully placed storage solutions are all expected to round out an interior experience that could genuinely make buyers question why they ever considered spending more for a luxury branded alternative. But a premium interior is only as good as the technology that lives inside it. So let's get into that. The technology package expected in the 2027 Nissan Rogue Hybrid is shaping up to be one of the most compelling arguments for this vehicle's value proposition. The infotainment system is anticipated to run on a significantly updated platform, faster, more responsive, and built around an interface that actually makes intuitive sense rather than requiring a manual to navigate. Wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto are expected as standard across the lineup, which at this point should be considered a baseline requirement rather than a feature worth celebrating. But Nissan is reportedly going further, with an integrated connected services platform that could offer over-the-air software updates, meaning your SUV could actually get smarter the longer you own it. That's a level of forward thinking that not every manufacturer in this price range is committing to. A premium audio system from a recognized brand partner is anticipated for higher trim levels, delivering the kind of cabin sound experience that transforms your daily commute into something you actually look forward to. The hybrid-specific technology dashboard is expected to give drivers a detailed, real-time breakdown of energy flow, showing when the vehicle is drawing from the battery, regenerating power, or blending both sources seamlessly. For buyers new to hybrid ownership, this kind of transparency builds confidence quickly. For seasoned hybrid drivers, it provides the data feedback loop they already love, and the driver assistance technology suite is expected to be extensive. But we're going to save that for its own dedicated section because it deserves the full spotlight. Right now, let's talk about what actually moves this SUV. The powertrain? The 2027 Nissan Rogue Hybrid's powertrain is the centerpiece of this entire story, and early expectations suggest Nissan has engineered something genuinely worth getting excited about. The anticipated setup is a next-generation ePower hybrid system. Nissan's proprietary approach that differs meaningfully from conventional hybrid architecture. Rather than using a traditional parallel hybrid configuration, where the combustion engine and electric motor both directly drive the wheels simultaneously, Nissan's ePower philosophy is built around the electric motor doing the majority of the actual driving work, with the gasoline engine primarily functioning as a generator to replenish the battery. The result is expected to deliver a driving sensation that feels closer to a pure electric vehicle than anything a conventional hybrid typically offers. Smooth, linear, immediate torque delivery with virtually none of the hesitation or gear hunting that can make traditional hybrids feel disconnected. Total system output is estimated in the range that would give the 2027 Rogue Hybrid a meaningful performance advantage over its non-hybrid competition, with some expectations pointing toward figures that could push this SUV from a standing start with genuinely spirited urgency. And the fuel economy projections? They're expected to be among the best in the entire compact SUV segment, potentially reaching numbers that make the case for hybrid ownership practically on their own. All-wheel drive capability is anticipated to be available, likely through an electric motor configuration that powers the rear axle independently, delivering traction and stability without the mechanical complexity of a traditional AWD drivetrain. This is a powertrain designed to change the conversation Nissan is having with American SUV buyers. And from everything pointing toward this vehicle's development, it just might. Now, how does all of that engineering actually translate when you're behind the wheel? The driving experience of the 2027 Rogue Hybrid is expected to be the element that surprises people the most, especially those who arrive with preconceived notions about what a mainstream compact hybrid SUV is supposed to feel like. The ePower system's electric forward drive character is anticipated to deliver instant torque response from the moment you touch the accelerator. The kind of smooth, effortless surge that makes merging onto a highway feel almost casual. There's expected to be a refinement and quietness to the cabin at cruising speeds that genuinely rivals vehicles positioned well above this price point. Steering feel and chassis calibration are reportedly being developed with a dual focus, composed and planted on the highway for effortless long-distance cruising, while remaining nimble and responsive enough in urban environments to never feel like you're maneuvering something heavy and disconnected. Nissan's engineers reportedly understand that compact SUV buyers in America don't want to feel like they're driving a truck. Regenerative braking tuning is expected to be especially well developed, offering selectable levels of energy recovery that allow drivers to choose between a more traditional coasting feel and a stronger one-pedal style driving mode that some hybrid enthusiasts genuinely prefer. Ride quality over varying road surfaces is anticipated to be well balanced, absorbing imperfections without floating or wallowing, which is precisely the type of ride character that American buyers consistently reward with repeat purchases. If the driving experience delivers on these expectations, the 2027 Rogue Hybrid won't just be a smart purchase, it'll be a genuinely enjoyable one. And now, one of the sections that modern SUV buyers consistently rank as their top priority, safety. The 2027 Nissan Rogue Hybrid is expected to arrive with one of the most comprehensive safety and driver assistance packages in its class. Nissan's Pro Pilot Assist technology, already well regarded in its current form, is anticipated to appear in a significantly enhanced version, delivering hands-on highway driving assistance that manages both speed and lane positioning, with a level of smoothness and confidence that reduces driver fatigue on long journeys in a meaningful way. Automatic emergency braking with expanded detection capability, blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alert, and lane departure warning are all expected to feature prominently, likely as standard or near standard across most of the trim lineup rather than reserved only for top-tier configurations. Rear automatic braking, driver attention monitoring, and an around-view monitoring system that gives a 360-degree visual perspective when maneuvering at low speeds are all anticipated additions that elevate the safety story considerably. Perhaps most notably, Nissan is reportedly working toward a version of their driver assistance suite that incorporates more sophisticated hands-free capability on compatible highway segments, a feature that has become a significant competitive battleground across the industry, and one that buyers in this segment are increasingly expecting as standard rather than exceptional. If those safety expectations are met, the 2027 Rogue Hybrid won't just be a safe choice, it'll be a leadership-level choice. Let's talk about what you'll actually pay for all of this. Pricing for the 2027 Nissan Rogue Hybrid is anticipated to reflect a thoughtful strategy on Nissan's part, competitive enough to attract mainstream buyers while premium enough to justify the hybrid technology investment. Early expectations suggest a starting price in the mid to upper $20,000 range for the base configuration, with well-equipped mid-tier trims likely landing in the low to mid-30s. Fully loaded top-tier trims with every available technology and comfort upgrade could approach or marginally exceed $40,000. which, when you factor in the expected fuel savings and the anticipated feature content, represents a genuinely compelling value argument against both non-hybrid competitors and entry-level luxury alternatives. Federal tax incentive eligibility could further sharpen that value equation, depending on final battery specifications and how the vehicle qualifies under current clean vehicle credit guidelines. A factor that could meaningfully influence a buyer's real out-of-pocket cost. Nissan appears to be positioning the 2027 Rogue Hybrid not as a niche product for environmental purists, but as the mainstream, practical, smart choice for everyday American families who want more from their SUV without paying more for a different badge. And speaking of different badges, let's see how this SUV stacks up against the competition. The compact hybrid SUV segment in 2027 is going to be a genuinely fierce battleground, and Nissan knows it. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid remains the segment benchmark, a vehicle with years of refinement, a proven reliability reputation, and consumer trust built over multiple generations. The Ford Escape Hybrid brings sharp styling and a genuine driving personality to the fight. The Honda CR-V Hybrid delivers interior practicality and efficiency in a package that consistently earns loyalty. And Hyundai's Tucson Hybrid offers a value-forward alternative with surprisingly premium feature content. Against this field, the 2027 Rogue Hybrid's anticipated advantages are specific and meaningful. The ePower drive character could offer a more EV-like experience than anything Toyota, Ford, or Honda currently delivers in this segment. The interior design ambition appears to be higher than what Nissan has attempted before, and the technology integration is expected to be competitive with, and in some areas ahead of, the current segment leaders. Where the Rogue will need to prove itself is in long-term reliability perception, an area where Toyota in particular has built an almost insurmountable trust advantage. Nissan will need buyers to take a confident step forward, and that means every aspect of the 2027 Rogue Hybrid's execution has to be flawless. The potential is real, the pressure is enormous, and that combination is exactly what makes this vehicle one of the most fascinating stories in the automotive industry right now. So, after everything we've covered, what actually makes the 2027 Nissan Rogue Hybrid special? Here's the honest answer. What makes this vehicle special isn't any single feature, any single technology, or any single design decision. What makes it special is what it represents. Nissan is a brand that built its American reputation on vehicles that punched above their weight class, SUVs and trucks that delivered more than buyers expected at prices that felt almost unfairly reasonable. Somewhere along the way, that formula got blurry. The Rogue continued to sell, but the passion behind it faded. The 2027 Rogue Hybrid feels like Nissan remembering who they are. It feels like a company that looked at where they were heading, recognized the risk, and made a deliberate, courageous decision to invest in something that genuinely matters to their most important customer, the American family SUV buyer. The ePower drivetrain isn't just an efficiency solution. It's a philosophical statement about how Nissan believes the transition toward electrification should feel: smooth, confident, and natural. The interior ambition isn't just about materials and screens. It's about earning back the respect of buyers who drifted away. And the safety technology push isn't just about checking competitive boxes. It's about Nissan rebuilding trust one feature at a time. All of that wrapped in a package that's expected to be genuinely attainable for the average American household. That's what makes this vehicle special. That's what makes it important. And that's what makes it worth watching. Here's the final verdict on the 2027 Nissan Rogue Hybrid. If Nissan executes on even a strong majority of what's currently being anticipated for this vehicle, it has a genuine shot at reclaiming a position at the top of the compact hybrid SUV conversation. Not by being flashy, not by chasing trends, but by being exactly what the American SUV buyer needs most right now: smart, refined, practical, and worth every single dollar. Is it guaranteed to topple the RAV4 Hybrid overnight? No. The Toyota's legacy doesn't disappear in a single model year. But the 2027 Rogue Hybrid could absolutely force buyers who have already made up their minds to stop, reconsider, and take a much closer look. And in a market this competitive, that's not a small accomplishment. That's a massive one. Nissan is betting their mainstream American future on this SUV. Based on everything pointing toward what this vehicle could be, that bet looks smarter by the day. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest automotive innovations, make sure to subscribe to Auto Elite World, turn on notifications, and let us know in the comments what you think about this vehicle. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.